Trish Biondo here with Toby Keith.
Hey.
How are you?
Great. How you been?
I'm awesome. I didn't bring you any pizza this time. I'm sorry.
I got plenty in St. Louis last night, but it ain't the same.
I was hoping for one of those fried bologna sandwiches. You should be cooking for me.
I've got it here if you'd like one.
No, I had to tell you, I went on a tour for the first time backstage. I've never really done that. And your crew was eating lobster. Is that like every night?
Well, not every night, but we have pretty good catering.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they have pretty good food.
That's why everybody loves working with you.
Steak and lobster, huh?
All right, so let's talk really quickly. American Ride coming out in just a couple weeks.
Okay. The album?
The album.
Okay.
Let's talk about the album. Then we'll talk about the video, which is awesome. I love the video.
The album was, the usual. I write a lot when I'm on the road, so 90% of the stuff that I write gets written while we're out here on the tour. And I started in May working on the album, but I had probably 30 songs written from last year, and I picked the best 12 or 13 and went and recorded them. And now I've got 14 or 15 written on this tour so far, and that'll be in the next album. But it's a pretty simple process. I try to write most of everything.
And the video is really fun.
Oh yeah, the video is the Jib Jab video. My director Michael Solomon. He's very creative, and he's won a lot of awards doing videos with us, and then I won a lot at CMT. Doing the videos that he's made. So it's a good team. We're a pretty good team.
Speaking of awards, I have to say congratulations because you're the Artist of the Decade Songwriter of the Year from the Nashville Songwriters Association, correct?
Yeah, the National Songwriter Association is a group of about 5,000 songwriters that probably the best group of, hands down, the best group of songwriters on the planet. And for those folks to recognize a body of work that we did in 10 years for this decade it's the biggest award I've ever got. I've got 60 or 70 awards, but I'll actually display this one. This one counts. This isn't like one of the awards that they give you that's agenda-driven that you might have earned or you might not have. This is 5,000 of your peers, songwriters, saying, dude, you had the biggest decade, so here you go.
So pretty special award. Probably more exciting than being named to Forbes' Most Powerful Men.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you work hard and you have a big brand, you can make money if you're willing to work hard. I mean, anybody that's real successful, if they want to go and do enough dates and invest their money good and work at it every day and take care of it, you can crank up some big numbers. But I'm pretty. I've run my business a long time, and I know my brand pretty good. So even though we have bars and grills and clothing lines and a few things outside of what we do musically, we still have 1,000 things come up that we say no to before we pick one. It's really got to be it's really got to be, brainless.
That's what I was wondering. It's like you've got so many other things going on. Is it to the point where you're just like, yeah, that's enough for me, or no, what's next?
Well, we're always looking, but we, like I said, there'll be 1,000 things come through next year, and we'll say no to 999. But if one of them makes sense, I mean, my Ford endorsement's going on 7 years, and it's so lucrative that I don't know if there's any other artists in my genre that have any endorsements that are that can compare to that. Ford's been really, really good for us. They sponsor the hell out of our tour, and it's been a great. That's been a great relationship there too.
You're getting ready to go overseas on your. I know you obviously do all the troop stuff, but this is your first tour going to. It's like Sweden and all those. Are you excited about that or nervous about it?
No, well, I mean, it's a challenge. You look for ways to challenge yourself. This. When you show up here every night, this almost gets automatic. We know there's going to be, 15, 20, 25,000 people depending on the venue, and over there it's a lot different. You start, from ground zero and work your way up. So you're in 5,000 and 6,000 seat theaters, and you got to try to sell them out and then move to bigger next time. But I've tried for 12 years or something to go over there, and every time I would get ready to go, they'd say, well, you know what? If we're going to promote your show, you got to have something on the radio. So we'd approach their radio and would say, well, you need to make your song more pop. Take the steel and the fiddle and the stuff out of it, and let's make it really pop. And I always went, that's as far as it got, and I always went, nah, screw that. And then this year we had a platinum album in Norway. We started really paying attention to our record sales. I came back off the USO and stopped in Spain for a day, and and people recognizing me and stuff. I was like going, are we doing good over here? And so my manager goes, actually we are. And I said, well, why don't we tour? And he goes, I'm looking at it right now. And so they called up and said, yep. And so now the people in Europe kind of found me without me having to bastardize my music or give them a version of something that wasn't me and then have to go over there and represent it. So they kind of found me, and I mean they play about 10 or 12 of my big songs now. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna try to grow it into something special.
Are you gonna bring family with you, or is it just strict work?
I'm gonna bring my wife, my little boy with me, but the rest, it's gonna be. I mean, she wanted to go, so I said, well, you're gonna be. It's not gonna. We're gonna have the amenities that we have here, so you're going to be, you know, she's going to be living out of a backpack pretty much, because we're going to be hooking it. We've got between doing 12 shows, we've got a lot of jumping around doing their TV and radio and press and stuff, so we're covering a lot in 22 days.
All right, cool. Last thing I want to mention, because you don't talk about it ever, and it's very rare that it makes it to, you know, publicity. But the one story obviously you do a ton of stuff that nobody ever knows, charity-wise, and just good things from your heart. But I love the story that I heard earlier this year about the soldier who asked you to bring a gift to. Yes. Yeah. And you did it.
Well, I was getting on a helicopter, and we were at some little bitty fob. I mean, it was so little that the soldiers' uniforms were so dirty that it looked like they'd been sleeping in them for 2 weeks. I mean, they literally looked like they couldn't wash their clothes there. There was only about 40 or 50 guys, if I remember, at that camp, but it was just a little forward operating base, and we did a show, and we jumped to the helicopter, and one of the boys ran up the helicopter and just handed me a little box that was wrapped in a notebook paper with a rubber band around it, and he goes, I need you to get this to my mom, and I know you will. Or no, he said, read that on your way out of here, and just handed it to me. And so as we were flying off, I opened the letter, and the letter said, my parents live this little town in Oklahoma where you're from. I got these rubies over here for my mom. She loves rubies. I told her I'd get her some. I have no way of getting them to her. I'm stationed in Alaska when I come home, and I won't have the money, obviously, to go to Oklahoma. Will you see to it that she gets these rubies? And he said, you're from Oklahoma. I know you will. And so the address said she lives in such and such town, at such and such address, either on 3rd or 6th Street. He didn't even know what street she lived on. And I was like, all right. So Kurt Motley, who's my booking agent, who I ride motorcycles with, and who is a board member for the USO, he said, I don't want you taking them till I get to go witness it, because I want to see the look on their face when we show up. And so he had to be in town. I got the rubies back through the military back into me, and we went down, found the house. It was in a thunderstorm, was really coming hard, and here we're out stuck on our motorcycles. We don't get down there till 10:30. We walk up, knock on this little frame house, and answer the door, and I go, hey, I'm Toby Keith. I'm supposed to deliver this to so-and-so. And
what did they do?
They just went, wow. And his dad come running in from the other room and said, I'm actually talking to him on satellite phone right now. And they had him, I guess he had found a satellite phone at his camp and had called home. And I got on the phone. I said, hey, he said, I knew. He goes, I had bets with the guys that whether it would get there or not. And he goes, you just made my day. I knew you'd freaking do it.
What a cool moment for you. That's really, that's special. And it's like I said, that's stuff that not a lot of people get to hear about. So thanks.
Well, it was fun, you know, and it's part of it. You know, if I can make his little world lighter for one day, then that's the least I could do. I was out on my motorcycle anyway.
All right, I know you got to go, so thanks for visiting us. Anything you want to say to everybody that's watching?
Nah, let's go, Chi-Town. We're ready to throw this thing down.